Hi, welcome to PJ Maybe's YouTube channel. Just a wee quick video. It's actually about one of the new things I've actually started watching, and believe it or not, it's a 1965 to 1971 BBC series. It's called Out of the Unknown. It's actually really good considering it's sci-fi. It's just of its time. Things they didn't know, obviously, but things that they have added, put in it, have quite good resonance. I've only actually watched a few of the episodes, but I would definitely recommend watching this if you can get a chance. I've not got all the episodes, 4 seasons, 1965 to 1971. It's full of cast members that you see and everything. So far you've seen the one that played in EastEnders, Arthur. Is it Bill Teacher? You see extras in it who are mainstays later on. So you've got, is it Dino Chavez? I can't remember his name, but he was in Ain't a Half Hot Man. He played the Charwalla. He's really good in anything he's done, but this must be one of his early ones because he's not got a speaking part, but you see him plain as day sitting there. It must be one of his early stuff, but it was nice to see him because obviously he passed away in '84, and I would think he would have actually gone on to be such a great actor, but great character actor. Anything he's been in has been funny. He's a good comic actor, so seeing him in something like a sci-fi thing, I think he would have actually been better in things later on. But it was just nice to see one of his early parts. You see the guy from Randall and Hawkirk. You see ones that have been in sci-fi, things like UFO. It's just nice to see a lot of these characters, things that people you recognise from later on, obviously as they got more famous. But this is obviously, and a lot of them is where they started. The first few episodes, the first one was No Place Like Earth. That was quite good because it's based on Earth blowing up, and there is a colony in Mars, colony in Venus, different places, but with Earth blown up there's no spaceships left, no fuel, and it's a case of how they're surviving. And there's Martians. Obviously it's one of these of the time where they didn't know and everybody speculated that there was people living on Mars, but Hannah Gordon starting it, it must have been one of her early roles. But there's these silly things that you think that was really good. But like for instance the Martian women, you see Martian men and women, but the only one you really see up close is a couple of the females, and they've got their teeth, which is just a nice wee touch. Whereas it's no teeth, it's just one large tooth, as it were, right across. So they've obviously got something over their teeth to actually just blend them all in. And it's just a nice wee touch with wee things like that, because it was to distinguish between Martians and Earth people. It's based on the fact that a colony from Venus comes to Mars to get people to go to Venus to work because they're trying to build a society, and it turns out they're a totalitarian society. Natural born Venusians, which are ape-like creatures, they basically enslave them to do all the dirty work, and they don't care how they act. And one of the guys who was recruited from Mars is just trying to get back to Mars because he wants to get back to one of the women he has romantic aspirations with. And it's they're slow build-ups. They don't have a big flashy ending. Some of the things, the endings, they end, and it just leaves you thinking, what next? How would that continue? It's an ending, but it's not a flashy ending. It's not a case of, oh, everything's happy. Sometimes it leaves you're sitting there thinking, oh, that's not a nice ending. It's just an ending. But they don't rush anything. It's of, as it said, it's of its time. It reminds me a lot of the time of like Doctor Who, the early Doctor Who, William Hartnell. There is the occasional fluff that they continue on through, because a lot of these actors were stage actors, so like the early Doctor Who's, if they fluffed a line, they just continued on and just re-said the line again, as if it was just a standard, oops, I meant to say this, as you would do in normal life. I suppose with being stage actors, they didn't interrupt if they fluffed a line, they just sort of went, oops, I meant this. And it was nice to see things like that, but it's less polished than nowadays, which is a normal thing. But of the time, I think they did them all very stage plays, so they were slow. But some of the aspects of it were quite nice to watch, so I would definitely recommend watching it if you can get your hands on it. I'm sure it will be on YouTube somewhere. If I can find a link, I'll put it in the description. But I would recommend anybody who likes classic sci-fi, old sci-fi. If you like the early Doctor Who's, William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, you'll love these, because they are just slow burns. I've watched the first 5 or 6 actually, and the one with the plants was humorous to an extent, because you're sitting there thinking, really, is that the way they're going down that? But you see people who were in the Carry On movies, you see people who were in classic sci-fi, like, as I said, UFO and stuff like that, Hannah Gordon, Bill Teacher, who was in EastEnders. You see the one from Randall Hopkirk, the classic one, not the new one with Reeves and Mortimer. You see people, and you're sitting there thinking, I know him from somewhere. Oh, I recognise her. And it's that aspect of it I really like. It's the fact that you're seeing this, it's an early stage of a lot of people's career, and sometimes they've only got either a very small part, or they're literally extras in the background, but you do recognise a lot of British character actors who made it famous in the 60s, 70s, which I quite liked. It's just a good, nostalgic, sci-fi, slow burn TV show. Out of the Unknown, BBC Sci-Fi. Considering the rubbish it's on the TV now, because it's all flashing bang, there's no big story behind it. These ones are all story, no big flashy. They do quite well with their sets, their scenes. You can see things like they're meant to be looking out the window and it's a picture, you can see that, but as of its time, they didn't have CGI to fill it in to make it look realistic, but it was still well done. I've got another 3.5 seasons to go through, and I'm so looking forward to some of them. They're just perfect. If you like old classic sci-fi, watch it. Don't miss it. Dig it out from somewhere. I'm sure it will be on YouTube. I'm sure you'll be able to get the DVDs, whatever. I'm looking for the DVDs right now, because, as I said, not all of the episodes are available. So take my advice, watch it. I will review it once I've watched the whole 4 seasons, and each episode, as they go through, I'll try and do a breakdown of each of the episodes. But the first 6 episodes I've watched, No Place Like Home is the basic one about a colony in Mars and Venus. The counterfeit man is on a spaceship heading back from Ganymede, as I think they were a mining colony, and about someone who they think is an imposter. And same again, you look through it, you're saying, recognise him. There's just so many of that. And it's all about unearthing this counterfeit man, and how, because if someone could interpret or basically replace someone and has their memories, how can you tell? The next one, Stranger in the Family, is about a guy who's a mutant. That's how they describe it. It's a mutated strain. He's got mental abilities that he can tell people to do something and they'll do it. He ends up killing people based on it, but his family are trying to help him. He's trying to actually keep him out of trouble. The government are trying to get him. and it's same again, a slow burn, and the ending of it, you would sit there thinking, where's it going? What could be next? But it's one of these ones you could watch. It's a good psychological how things are going to go. Next one is The Dead Past. The Dead Past is about building a device that you can view history. The government have told people it's there so they can view throughout history. However, it turns out they can build one, but it can only go back 100 years. And the reason the government don't tell anybody is, if people have got this device in their home, the dead past is, as soon as something happens, it's in the past, so you can record it. So if everybody got it, there's no privacy. You can view anybody doing anything at any time, which means there's no secrets anymore. Voyeurism, invasion of privacy. It's very good. Consider nowadays with the YouTube and everybody with cameras, it's quite up to date in that respect. The next one after that is Time in Advance. It's about pre-crime. If you want to kill someone or want to commit a crime, you go up and admit it. You get half your sentence you would normally do if you done the crime. So if you want to kill someone, you could end up 14 years hard labour in the mining colonies of Venus, Ganymede, wherever, which is dangerous, disfiguring, and a very brutal life. But if you want to kill someone, you serve your time in advance. So instead of 14 years, it would be 7 years. And when you come back, you get licensed to do that crime you've already served your time with. And there's nothing they can do. So if you want to kill someone, you tell them you want to kill someone, you don't need to tell them who. You, as long as you serve the time, you can kill someone. And it's all about that aspect of it, and it's actually quite a good, nice twists and turns, and that's the one that's got the guy from Random Hawkirk in it. Then you've got Come Buttercup, Come Daisy Come. It's all about plant life and stuff like that, and about a guy's obsession with plants and how he mutates them and things like that. It's got one of the women from Carry On in it, and she was very good in it, but she only had a bit part. She wasn't the main character, she was just one of the side characters. But same again, it's nice to see people you recognise. So they're the first 6 that I've watched, and those 6 have dragged me in. The very first one, No Place Like Earth, I think was a good starting point, because some of the other ones were not as good. From the first 6 were not as good, but that one was good enough that you wanted to see more. Some of the writers in the series are Isaac Asimov, Terry Nation. There's numerous ones, but those are 2 of the most famous writers that I recognise. So it shows you the writing talent, it shows you the acting talent, because a lot of these people you see, you recognise from later on, be it parts in TV shows, movies, whatever. So, Out of the Unknown by BBC Sci-Fi. Watch it. Well, if you'd like to see more, and I'll do reviews of this later on, please like and subscribe. Comment if you've seen it before and what you liked about it. Please feel free. So remember, I'm not old, I'm classic. PJ may be out.